All right, viewers, you're back with me, William Shu, and we still have Mr. Rodney Ludema, the Chief Economist of the U.S. State Department. We'll talk more about Indonesian economy. All right, in the first segment, Mr. Rodney, we'll talk about the state economy. Now, Indonesian economy, while the economy is getting better in the state, its different trend is seen in emerging countries like Indonesia. How do you see the economic growth in Indonesia, which is slowing down compared to last year? What's your say about this?
Well, I think that Indonesia is at an important turning point in its economic growth. For a very long time, it's been growing on the basis of commodity exports, mainly to China. But China, as China has started to slow down, and for other reasons, there are commodity prices have begun to fall, and that has created a big challenge for the Indonesian economy. I think that most economists believe that the commodity boom is over.
Commodity boom is over.
That you didn't hear it here first, but but I think that that's what most of the economists I've talked to have said. And so what that means is that and by the way, those are also Indonesian government economists that I'm talking about, not just me or U.S. economists. But what that means is that Indonesia needs to think about how it's going to address this problem. I think that the incoming government rightly perceives that Indonesia needs to diversify its economy away from, while certainly commodities and energy will always be an important part of the economy. You just have great resources here, but to move into manufacturing and services more deliberately than you have in the past. I think that in particular, since the U.S. is growing, and Indonesia mainly export manufactures to the U.S., that's a potential growth market for Indonesian exports, and that should help with the current account situation, which is currently suffering from an adverse shock as a result of the end of the commodity boom.
All right. If we see from another perspective, the new elected president, Joko Widodo, shows a positive global sentiment, which can be seen in direct result by the stronger rupiah. What's your say about the new elected president?
Well, the markets are giving him the benefit of the doubt. It's always a bit of a question mark when you have a transition of any kind. But I think that what I hear is that President Jokowi is a pragmatist. Has a record of getting things done, and there's a lot that needs to be done in the Indonesian economy, particularly to achieve the kind of growth objectives that he has in mind. And right now, I think the markets believe that he will, he has a good chance of succeeding. Very interested to see what his cabinet looks like. I guess we're all waiting to find out that, but hopefully that cabinet will have some experienced and growth-minded members, and that also that they all get along. Because one of the things that I've heard is that in many cases different parts of the government don't always coordinate so well together.
That's what I had to.
So yeah, I think certainly the United States is hopeful, and it looks like markets are hopeful as well.
Sounds good.
But I think there's only markets don't give you the benefit of the doubt forever, and so I think that he's going to need to show some results early on in order to keep that market sentiment, and with it, I think the rupiah up.
All right, let's talk about technology boom. Technology boom is known by the worldwide. It's coming from the States. If we compare it to the States, you guys have Silicon Valley, you guys even have Facebook and all other big giant tech companies. All right, for Indonesia, what do you think the penetration in the internet is like, and its boom for the technology industry?
Right. So, I mean, yes, the U.S. Is a leader in technology.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for that is an environment that promotes innovation. It has in the United States we have a very light touch in terms of regulation. We've got very deep capital markets. Venture capital, drives a lot of the innovation. But the U.S. economy is geared toward promoting innovation and hence the growth in the technology sector. I think that Indonesia, I think Indonesia could benefit a great deal from new technology. And I think, and not just in the IT sector, but actually using technology in order to promote all sectors of the Indonesian economy. Manufacturing these days runs on the internet,
True.
Right? If you want to have an efficient manufacturing facility, you need to have, logistics, you need to have global value chains, you need to have communications, you need to have distribution. All of these things run on technology and on internet technology in particular. So it's absolutely vital for the Indonesian economy to be wired. And that means both increasing internet access, and of course I think that also another side benefit, and this is a big benefit, is that by building out the internet to all of the Indonesian economy, you also achieve more inclusive growth. Because I think that Jakarta is probably well served by the internet, but many of the outer regions aren't. And so building the internet out, improving internet access, I think is a huge objective. But I think it's an additional thing that Indonesia can do is create a policy environment.
All right.
That
environment after all.
that creates an open internet space.
All right, sounds good to me, Mr. Rodney. All right, we'll talk more about U.S. and Indonesia economic relation and also global economy in the later segment, of course. All right, viewers, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the global economy in later segment. Stay tuned with us.